new, and then that'll be another example for GDSR. So if you missed it, this is your chance. Okay. What does the GDSR tell us? Okay. It tells us, right, whether or not one qualifies for a mortgage. Okay. Basically tells us it's a percentage, and when calculated, it will tell us whether or not one qualifies for the mortgage. We're gonna be able to take it out. Okay. Where do our property taxes go? What is it used for? So I need at least one or two things there, and you can put down schools, roads, public services, sure. Anything else? Yeah.
The thing it says is to help put things in the area.
Be more specific next time. I'll give you half for that one. Local improvements, yes, local improvements. Sidewalks, right?
Oh, wait, do we need two things or just one?
I'd say one is okay. Yeah, one is fine. Tree, like if they cut down the trees in your area, right? If the city comes in and they cut a that's probably hydro. Most of the time it's due to the power lines. Sometimes it's due to the overhang on the roads. It depends. Lighting, right? All of those things. Waste removal, right? All of those things. Jorge is purchasing a property worth $161,000. Calculate the land transfer tax for this property, and I have the chart right here. So it's right minus 30. It's 131,000. Right, that's $0 for the first 30,000. The next amount we subtract is 60. And you got to watch out. This is 0.005. So basically, you take this and you divide it by 100 if you're not sure. Anytime you see percentage, divide it by 100. Some of you are dividing by 1,000 sometimes. That's not percentage, okay? So it's $300. And so this is 71,000 left. I can certainly subtract the next 60, right? So I went 30, 60, and I'm going 60 again. I pay 1% on that. That's $600. And then you're left with 11,000. You can't subtract anymore, but you apply that next rate to it, which is 1.5%. That I need help with. $165. Okay. So I think I will do this for today. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and adding all of them up to actually come up with a land transfer tax will be 0.5 as well. So that is 1,065, right? Yeah, 0.5 for that. So I'm doing halves instead of full. You should still be able to do it. Yeah.
At least half a mark if I miscalculate during one of the steps.
One of these, yeah. If one of them is wrong, then half off.
But if I continue everything else,
then it's fine. Yeah. I'm pretty gracious if you're showing me all your steps. If you make a small mistake here and there, it's usually only half a mark deduction. If you completely miss a step, that's a different story. Okay. Okay, Juwan is thinking of buying a house. He estimates that his monthly payment is that the annual heating, right, would be $1,800. The property taxes would be $375 a month, and the annual income is $75,000. Calculate the GDSR. That should tell you something. If you weren't here yesterday, it means nothing to you. It's just a bunch of letters, right? But and that's kind of how it goes, right? So I will, anything that says annual or yearly, I want that as a monthly amount. So the heating, for heat, I need to take the $1,800 divided by 12. For income, I need to take the $75,000 and divide it by 12. So let's see what that all amounts to. This is 150 bucks. And the income, 62.50 per month. So I would say you get half a mark for each of those steps. It's not that difficult to do, but it needs to be done before you proceed with the GDSR. And if you weren't here yesterday, actually the GDSR formula is right on that yellow sheet. The gross debt service ratio, the GDSR, this is the formula. Mortgage, property taxes, heating, divided by income. Okay? So here it is. GDSR. I'll take my mortgage, which is $1,275, plus the heating, plus the property taxes. All of that divided by 62.50, and this whole thing gets multiplied by 100. Okay. So the GDSR is 1,800 divided by 62.50 times 100. I'd say if you get it, if you got the top number right, I would say you get a mark there for that, the 1,800. And then you just go 1,800 divided by 62.50 times 100. That's 28.8%. Okay, so that would definitely be another mark for calculating that correctly. And hold on, I missed a mark, right? 1, 2, 3. This setup here, I would give you a mark for that, because if you do this right, you show me you understand what needs to be done. It's almost like the insurance, right? If you show me how you plug everything in, you clearly understand what's happening. Okay, you clearly understand what's happening. So half and half for the monthly amounts, 1 mark for the setup, another mark for calculating the top right, and then another mark for 28.8%. You didn't do it times 100. Okay, yeah. Okay. That's still technically correct. Yeah.
I just lose one thing. I did this one.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's technically correct as well. B, now based on this answer here, will he be approved for the mortgage? Explain. The answer is yes. GDSR is below 32%. It needs to make reference to the 32%. You can't just say yes or no. Or you can't just say GDSR is low or GDSR is high. That doesn't work. It has to be making reference to the 32% if you want that mark. Okay? So question 4 in total is out of 5. I don't know if you want to just have a big number out of 5 next to that question. Makes it easier. Okay. This Reed would like to purchase insurance for his apartment. Right? That's tenant insurance. He estimates that his belongings are worth $89,000. Steve chooses a standard insurance that it's important to me, $200 deductible. Calculate everything before taxes. So I'm going to go insurance, and I look at the tenant insurance table. And you notice that you max out, right? So you grab the 359 and the 450, because standard, you pay 359 to cover that much. You need to pay extra for anything over. Okay? So we need to use the square brackets. Some of you did not use them on the quiz. You got to make sure you do that. Plus 450 per $1,000. That's when you go over 1,000, right? Times what you're over by. So I'm going to go 89,000 minus 75,000. And what is that? 18,000. 75 to 85 would be 10,000, 19,000, right? So 14,000, 14. Yeah. Oh, 14,000, of course. Right, so 10,000 plus another 4, yes. So 14,000, my bad. Hey, you're paying attention, that's good. So this is your start. So this covers up to 75 grand of contents. You pay extra for the extra 14 grand. And it says $200 deductible, so I need to do this. I need to add 10% to the bracket. If you don't do the brackets, it's only going to apply to this little chunk. That's why I put the square brackets in there. We don't want taxes, so we don't need to do the times 0.0107. Okay, so let's do this. 1 mark for that, 1 mark for that, 1 mark for that, and 1 mark for that. Yes, this is going to change. Half. Yeah. Okay, so you need to clean this up. So 359 stays, plus you figure out what this is, right? So you go 450 divided by 1,000 if you need to, right? Times 14,000. That's 63 bucks additionally that you're gonna have to pay. Make sure you put this around it, right? It's almost like these big brackets just wrap around whatever happens inside, times 1.10. Okay, I add up the 359 to the 63, that's 422 times 1.10. That's 464.20 before taxes. That's the final answer, and you're going to get a mark for calculating that correctly. Okay. So for example, if I notice you don't do the brackets here, I wouldn't give you the final mark here because that's part of all that work that needs to happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll make that worth 5 as well. So get rid of the 3 there so you're not confused, right? Natalie needs to insure her home for $780,000, $750 in area 3. So it's home, right? Standard with a $500 deductible. What is it after tax? So we are definitely going over, right? So we go area 3. We gotta go the big insurance table. Area 3 standard. We max out at 726, but we pay $355 for every $1,000 that you're over, right? So I'm going to go 780, 750 minus 200,000. That's 580, 750. Close the bracket. After tax, so I just have to do this on the outside. I don't need to add the 10%. 1 mark for the 726. That is right from here, guys. 726. And then the 355 for every $1,000 you go over. That's another mark for that, and another mark for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've got to clean it up. That's going to be quite a bit. Yep. So it's 726 plus the additional 2,061.66. Put that in brackets times 1.07. 2787.66 times 1.07. Almost done. $29. Here it is, $29. 82.80. That's worth another mark. So you get 5 marks if you did that right. So what are we at? 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Just this page is worth 19. So I'm going to put that on this side here. Good? Back side. Oh, that one I didn't talk about yet, did I?
What about 1K?
Let's talk about it. How could you reduce your heating costs? I'll just tell you here.
Don't use heat.
Can't do that. You can do smart thermostat. You know what a thermostat is? Is the thing that controls the temperature in the home. The newer ones are the smart ones, right? They're connected to Wi-Fi. They sense movement in the house. They automatically change the temperature if they sense no movement. They actually learn your behavior. Big Brother is watching.
I believe you mentioned this
Yeah.
before.
Okay, there we go. So that's one way you can upgrade anything. What's one thing you can upgrade on your house to reduce the heating costs? Yeah. Yes. There's the old furnaces. The old ones, they use a lot of natural gas. And then there's the high efficiency. Upgrade furnace to HE. That's like the keyword, like the high efficiency heater. You can upgrade. What else can you upgrade in the house? You look through it every day. Right? The older windows have 2 panes. The newer ones have 3 panes, and they have like better frames and stuff like that. You can upgrade your insulation. I did that 2 years ago. In my attic, the older houses probably have this much insulation in the attic. You know where the attic is, right? Above the ceiling. And I went in, you can rent a machine that's the insulation blower. So you gotta have a mask and stuff. It's super bad, like it's really dusty and itchy up there. So my wife was feeding the machine down there with insulation, and I was up there, and it just shoots insulation everywhere. So I added another foot because most of your heat will escape through the ceiling. Did you know that? A lot of it. So right. So right, and in the winter, you want your house insulated. So upgrading insulation. If you live in an old home, you can actually apply for programs that pay for a lot of it. So check with Manitoba Hydro for any programs, incentives, or rebates. Okay. You can get geothermal. Do you know what geothermal is? Heating. It's where they dig really deep, like hundreds of feet underground, and there's a water pump, and it pumps the water underground. It uses the heat that's way underground, and that's what you heat your home with. So it's just a pump circulating water. But it's not really good for Manitoba. I've talked to a lot of people. They say their bill is actually higher than before. So I would strongly go against geothermal. So I wouldn't even put that down under how can you save on energy. Sorry? Wear layers. That I will not take. I will not take don't use heat or turn down your thermostat, right? Like just turn down the heat. It has to be something that kind of works on its own. So for example, weather stripping around doors and windows so that there's no draft. You can do that. Okay, so we'll talk about that later on. I'm digressing here. Let's keep going. Calculate the annual insurance premium. Another insurance. I'm getting tired of insurance, guys. I hope you do too, but I want you to ace it. Area 4, 225, comprehensive, $500 deductible after tax, and we are at a home. So insurance, area 4, I'm just going to quickly do this here. Area 4, I go to area 4, comprehensive, 1,063 plus, I need to pay extra, right? Yeah, I went over. I went over by 25 grand. I want a $500 deductible, so I don't need to multiply by 1.10, but I do need to multiply by 1.07 because I want it after taxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and then 1063 plus so that's 129.75. That's the extra you're going to need to pay. Put that in square brackets. That gets multiplied by 1.07. So this is 1192.75 times 1.07. Now you can get rid of those brackets. 127624. 1 mark for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. I will probably on a test use half marks, but it's the same thing. Overall, you're gonna score the same. Getting a 3 out of 3 or a 5 out of 5 is the same. It's 100%, right? Now the property taxes. So again, you just check whether or not you got it right, okay? There's the portion assessment is given to you already. So for education, we're just going to multiply our mill rate. Sorry, I'm not going to speed up that much. Education, I take the mill rate. I divide it by 1,000, remember that. You multiply it by the portioned assessment. Okay? For municipality, you take that mill rate, divide it by 1,000. You multiply that by 185, the portion assessment. This is what your house gets taxed on. It's not the whole value of the home. I hope you remember that. Then improvements. Improvements, I told you that the frontage is 50 feet and it's concrete paving. So you got to go get your chart. Concrete paving. Concrete street paving, that's 3932. Okay? And then credits, we're going to take care of that in a bit. So let's figure out what that is. You probably already have, right? So that's great. 857. So the first one is 2933.55. You get a mark for that. Okay, then it's 17,856 times 1.5. That's 3,303.36. Another mark for that. And then the improvements, right? 1966. That's another mark. Okay, so I will go subtotal. I will add everything up. Yes. That means you subtracted. If you get a credit, a store credit, right? Like you get money back or you get money on your account. Plus, does this make sense, guys? I feel like I typed in something wrong. Is that good? My subtotal before the credits? You probably just have the final answer. So let me give you the credits. So $450 off. 7,752.91. Seems a little high, but it's good, I think. Let me check. Yeah, we're good. This is the final answer. So I'm going to give you another mark for the final answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That means the last mark is for taking away that credit. So I'm not going to count 7. Okay, 7 we're not going to count. So 5 and 4, that's 9. 9 for this page. Yeah, 1 second. 9 and 19, that's 28. 28 total. So make this out of 28.